Hello, I'm Tracy with Meet RX. I'm here with another success story podcast, and we have a coach, Peter, with us. Hi, Peter.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. And also, let's get started by if you would tell me what you did in life before Carnivore as far as your diet and your health, what your health symptoms were like.
Yeah, okay. I have I think I have a turbulent background in terms of diet. Obviously, I wasn't always aware of the health benefits of just eating the right way. And when I had my first child, my daughter, she's now 5. I was wondering. I was looking out for myself in health-wise, but I thought, well, I don't really know anything about how to raise my daughter healthily, so I decided to. I wanted to be trained. I guess went to the university to become a dietitian. So that was what I enrolled for almost 4 years ago now, and that proceeded to be a whole cascade of new insights. In the beginning, I was really delighted to learn all the things about diet and what's a healthy diet, because my most frustrating point was that I don't know, and you cannot have a decent discussion with anyone about it because everyone has his own point of view. So I thought, well, there should be one defining way that's healthy, and but turns out there's not, or at least there's not one way that all the experts agree on. And so I, at first, I was going down the food pyramid story. Less meat is bad, red meat is bad, saturated fat is bad, stuff like that, until I came upon the ketogenic community and all the information that was getting published. I think it was in 2017, and well, that led me to adopt that diet, and eventually, with some ups and downs, I landed on the carnivore diet. And also, so I could talk about a little bit about my health issues that I had, which were quite a few. If I add them all up, now it's obvious that there were quite a few, but it seemed like normal life, I guess. Mm-hmm. And also because I know that my dad has certain issues, and so some things are the same, and I thought they were just normal. So, but luckily, you can do something about it. So my biggest point to ditch the carbs was my fatigue that I had a really big problem with dozing off after eating, just getting tired during the day on just random times, and especially after eating, I would just be so tired, couldn't keep my eyes open, not even to have an active discussion. I would just fall asleep during a discussion, or also interesting conversations like with my girlfriend or at work. I would have I had a coaching a job coaching people back to work, and I would have a client at the other side of the table, and I would just fall asleep during the conversation. Now I'm thinking back, it's so embarrassing, and I had to go out and pump myself up, and then go back in and finish it, and it was just horrible. And for myself, I made a link between the story of diabetes and high insulin and stuff like that. And I know my my grandfather had diabetes, And my father is also struggling with all kinds of pre-diabetes issues like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm 39 now, and I'm guessing it's okay now maybe, but I'm getting a little bit older. So if I don't do something now, then it won't get any better, for sure. So I got a little bit scared that way, and so I tried to ditch the carbohydrates, and it made it a lot better. So I still have moments of tiredness also after eating, but it's so much better than what I had then. That's really, yeah. That's why I stuck with it the first couple of months, I guess. And then everything started to get better. Also on the ketogenic diet, things got better. I lost weight. I went from 93 kilograms, which I guess is almost 200 pounds, down to 86 kilograms, which is 172, I think.
Okay. And how tall are you?
Or 180. And so that's all those positive things happened, but I still stalled after a while at 86 kilograms.
How tall are you, Peter?
I'm 6'4".
Okay.
6'4". So yeah, I never was really, it never was actually was overweight or something. And it's interesting because I thought I was going to the gym and was trying to put on muscle, and I thought I was doing a great job with that. But now, after I did the carnivore diet, especially in the beginning, I went strict carnivore, just eggs, bacon, and meat, for a couple of months, and the weight just melted off. And then, so I went down all the way to 80 kilograms. And I noticed that that is actually my natural weight. So that's what I weighed when I was 20 years old or something. Yeah, so it's a weird feeling, because then I noticed that actually the 86 kilograms, and especially the 93 that I stayed at for a couple of years, it really was too heavy. Although I thought I worked for it, getting to the gym, and it was my then natural weight. After I got back down, I knew it was too much. It's so much better to have a natural, healthy weight. I don't know. I couldn't have explained it to myself, being a little bit heavier, but it's obvious now. Yeah, so now, and I feel great. I stay the same weight all the time, nothing happens. And also my girlfriend, or wife, she told me I look great, and I remind her, because she knows me from when we were 20 years old also. So she recognized me from then, except the hair, of course. But yeah, so it's she actually told me she had like a renewed attraction to me, because I looked like my former self.
Right. Oh, like your 20-year-old self. That's great.
Yeah.
So like you had fatigue, very, very much fatigue before carnivore and before keto, I guess. And then were there any other health symptoms that you had prior?
Oh yeah, I did. Like like I told you, I thought I was on the way to diabetes if I just kept on going, eating grains and everything. But I had a lot of other issues, like, and I hear these are quite commonly solved by the carnivore diet. I had skin issues like eczema on my face, predominantly. And I thought it was seborrheic eczema. That actually, yeah, now, although I had to cut out dairy for that, when I still eat dairy, I still have those problems. But when I lose the dairy, my skin clears up in like quite a short period of time. Yeah, so it would be really bad, all flaky and red in my face. And growing a beard would not be possible with the skin issues, and it would have flaky eyebrows, like just. And also, then I knew that I had dandruff, like, I guess, I wouldn't say all my life, but like from 16 years old or something. And that's part of why I decided to shave my head, or really make it short. And actually, I didn't try to grow my hair again to see if it's problematic, but I'm pretty confident that quite of yeah, that it won't at least be as severe as before. Also, a big difference for me is hay fever. That's just every year I forget how bad it is, and that I really cannot do anything for like 2 months. And yeah, just runny nose, just like a tap going on from my nose, itchy eyes, and if there's light, I cannot keep them open because it's too much light and itchy, and tears all the time. It's just I'm really unable to work for 1 or 2 months in the summer. But after I did, especially now that I'm quite strict with the carnivore diet, it just I only have a little bit of itchiness and sneezing in the morning, like, and I blow my nose 1 or 2 times, and then the rest of the day is perfect. So it's such a big difference for me. It's, yeah.
Did that clear up with keto too, or just carnivore?
I actually, it cleared up a little bit with the ketogenic diet, but I still had to do the corticosteroid nasal spray to help me with the last bit of the symptoms. So it still relied on that, and so that's completely gone now. So yeah.
What was your ketogenic diet like? Did you eat a lot of vegetables, or?
Yeah, I did a lot of the mixing the vegetables with butter, like the mashed cauliflower, stuff like that. A lot of butter, I guess. Yeah, it's a long time ago now.
Yeah. How long have you been carnivore?
And now for more than a year, maybe, yeah, a year and a couple of months. And it has I had my ups and downs, and especially before. I had a period of trying going back to ketogenic, and then also eating grains again for a little while, because I'm like, well, this there's a lot of change, and then I have to check it with what I did before. Like, is this a coincidence? If I go back, do the symptoms lessen again? And well, everything, all the positive effects came back. So then I knew that I was on the right track. Otherwise, yeah, I cannot dive into something and then keep on going. I have to check it all the time.
Oh yeah. That's good. It's a great elimination diet to find out what you're allergic to and so forth. Are you strict carnivore all the time, or? do you add in eggs and dairy and stuff occasionally?
Yeah, so also within the carnivore definition, there's less strict and more strict, I guess.
Mhm.
So what I did for a long time was include cheese, all kinds of cheese, like sheep, goat, just cow cheese, of course. And yeah, what I did was I would use it just as a side dish with everything that I ate, just because it's so delicious. Every cheese is so delicious. I think it's I think it's wonderful, and if somebody doesn't have any issues with it, which I thought was me, that it didn't have any issues, they should eat it unlimitedly, I guess. But so I always put cheese on my eggs, a lot of cheese, and that made it super enjoyable to eat my eggs and bacon and eggs
Mhm.
at lunch.
Do you have like 2 meals a day, or how many meals?
I have 2 meals a day. I skip breakfast, and I have 2 meals. And but because not every day is the same, so I try. I skip a lot of meals, I guess, or eat at different times, and it's yeah, it's really it's fascinating how easy it is to skip a meal and just eat, and you don't have to. How do you say? Compensate for that in a later moment, or think about it. Just go on with the normal diet. For me, at least. It's like yeah, it's really it makes life really easy to just be able to skip something like that. And so I, especially in comparison to when I was eating the standard food pyramid, I guess what I wrote down was that I used to when I was waiting for the train or something, and there's always like little places that you can buy stuff, and I was and of course I would have cravings for because my blood sugar dropped or whatever, but and then because there's no real there are no real rules about what you can eat and what you can't eat. That's a big issue for me. So I have to know what can I eat, what can't I eat. Then I would just buy stuff that was really unhealthy also at
Oh,
the local place that I was, because I had the craving. And so now there are no cravings, and there are clear rules about what I can eat, what I'm fine with eating. So that's everything is so much better in that regard. So it makes me feel a lot better, and it saves a lot of money also. So
yeah,
that's perfect.
yeah. So shopping is easy, and what you eat. What do you eat in a day? You said eggs and bacon for breakfast.
I eat eggs and bacon and butter, I guess for lunch, and then in the evening I eat a big steak and try to eat as fatty a steak as possible. I'm calling it a steak, but it might be all kinds of part of the cow. So and I try to include liver for like 1 or 2 times in the week. And so also what I wanted to mention is I don't know how that's with you. I actually hate cooking, so it's and I can do it. It's okay. I've from all the years I've accumulated a lot of dishes that I can do by heart. I can make by heart, and but I never loved doing it, getting all the things together. And now it's just so easy, so simple. And most of the time the meat is vacuum sealed.
Mhm.
So I put it in hot water, like 50 degrees Celsius or something, and then it warms up, and I throw it in the pan, in the fryer. How do you call it? I saute it. Something really short for like a couple of seconds on each side, and then it's super delicious meat. But I guess it's warm from being in the water,
Mhm.
and I guess I shouldn't really have to saute it either. I could just eat it raw.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, some of them, some carnivores do eat raw. I've never been to that point, but
no, it's a psychological barrier, I guess. What I noticed, I tried raw liver, and I noticed profound structure change, which is, yeah, I guess it's obvious between the raw steak and the well done steak. Like, it's super obvious, but with liver also, it's maybe even a bigger difference about how it tastes. But I don't know. Do you have experience with that?
the only thing I've ever heard was that most people overcook liver, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
makes it kind of taste yucky. But I noticed my husband, he grills our food a lot of times, and he'll grill liver, and he just cooks it a little bit, and that helps the flavor not be so harsh, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you don't you really don't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it. Eggs, bacon, beef, and liver,
Mhm.
and I try to get my meat in bulk, ordering it online, but from a local farmer
Mhm.
here in the Netherlands. So my freezer is stuffed with a lot of meat, which also during the Corona times made it quite easy. Although for my family, I have a wife and 3 kids, so, and they don't do the diet with me. Uh, they're loving the pasta and the bread and all the grains. So I have to wade through all the snacks and the bread and all the things I really like,
Mhm.
cookies, sweets, uh, and
Is that hard for you, or do you feel just satiated with your meat?
I'm at a point now that I really don't care about it, and I don't crave it. But at first, it was quite hard, um, and I still have moments that I'm on the couch and I try to not snack a lot. So so after dinner, I don't want to eat anything, um, and so I'm on the couch with my wife, and then but she wants to snack something, so she gets a little bowl with chips, and she's crunching beside me, and so after a while that gets pretty annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, it's funny because so then I noticed that those things. It's not that I want the potato chips or something, but it's just indulging in something and yeah, being able to do that. I guess I miss that a little bit, but it doesn't have anything to do with the food. Actually, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
a psychological thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for telling your story. And I know you're a coach at MeetRx on our coaching team, and
Mm-hmm.
they asked me to find out what your coaching strategy is.
Yeah, so it's what I found interesting was that with my um, education to be a dietitian, I obviously have to do conversational training stuff, and so you expect a lot of resistance from clients, and but with especially within the Meter X community, everybody's already motivated. So I noticed that I don't have to push people. I almost, I guess, yeah, it's just getting people to get into to the right groove and keep on going. And so the keep on going part is important, I think, because it was hard for myself in the beginning to keep on going and not get distracted. And so that has been a focus, I guess, to anticipate on things that will happen, and also all the issues that can come up, like change of stool, consistency, and other questions that people have. That yeah, my focus is on anticipating on that, and then being able to answer the questions and keeping them motivated to go on. But also, I guess, I'm not really dogmatic about having to eat meat, so I'm fine either way. I'm really about helping the other person achieve the goals that they want. So yeah, it can there can be all kinds of questions. So and they can be more or less detailed. Like it can be sometimes somewhat someone can just accidentally drink too little water structurally. That can have an impact on all kinds of things. But other things, and that's, I find that interesting. So if there are more issues relating to each other, then I can dive into getting to know all the symptom-like things. It can help me educate myself better. But I noticed thyroid problems are quite common with people. Yeah, and so those kind of things. I like working on that and figuring out what I can do, and also be safe with the advice I give, I guess. That's an important thing for me.
So it's very individualized according to what where the person is. Is that where you're, yeah.
Yeah, and because also I know I have the tendency to be enthusiastic about my own experience, but you have to keep in mind that everybody is an individual, and also because I know my wife, she has no issues with eating grains, and she has none of the health issues I have. And we ate the same for a lot of years. So I know how different people can be.
Yeah. So when you start out coaching someone, if you tell them, I want you to at least try this for how long do you tell them to try it, to give it a good try of carnivore?
A month.
At least a month.
Yeah, a month. And get back to me in 2 weeks if something really comes up. And yeah, some weird stuff can come up, like how do you call it, when you get I don't know, an ulcer in your lip. I don't know it's a fever. No, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
What's the term? But so I had a client had that when she went all in full carnivore.
Was it like a fever blister? Is that what you mean?
Fever blister, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I didn't know the term, but that just came up really heavily, and then went away again. But so stuff like that can come up, and like it can scare people. I guess. Luckily, my client, she went on and had terrific success, and she's so motivated. to get on, and we're getting doing little steps like leaving out dairy and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And everything is an improvement all the time. So yeah, I don't know if it's typical for the carnivore diet or something, but those dramatic changes are not really what I'm used to coaching people in the diet
Oh yeah, it
area.
takes a while. It takes a while for the body to heal. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people don't understand that in the beginning, especially. But it does take time for the body to heal before they lose weight or before, you know, they get a lot of strength or whatever they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm just fascinated with what leaving out the carbohydrates and especially the carbohydrates can do. Also for bowel issues. I have a client that had severe bowel issues, pain, flatulence, a lot of flatulence, and she works in the. She's a nurse, so it's quite complicated if you have a job like that. So and then so she's now on a ketogenic diet, and all the issues are gone
Mm.
in like a week. So it's so interesting that such a simple tweak can do everything. And she went to a dietitian before, and they were going through every single food item, like leaving it out, putting it back in, leaving it out, putting it back in, never going anywhere. So yeah, it's profound sometimes.
It's great that you could help her. Yeah. That's one of the things I love about coaching is that we get to help people try to get their health back and just live
Yeah,
live a more quality, good life by eating better foods.
yeah, it's it's so. I think it's awesome that we can have that you can have an influence with this. And I used to help people in other ways. Um, when I was a legal professional, like I would solve legal issues for people, but that's it has a different impact on people. It's not really on the personal essential level for someone, and this also has a value, of course. Well, if you put it in money, it has more value. But I don't think. I think this is more important, and I hope that we can have, we can grow our impact as, yeah. I, I don't know how we would, I would call myself in terms of what I want to do, like, yeah, just a health professional, I guess, or people helping other people get healthy. But I'm optimistic about what we're doing now and the chances that are presenting itself, but also a little bit anxious about what is going on with the plant-based narrative and what gets pushed by government and regulation agencies. And yeah, so I'm not convinced that we can go on. Yeah, it seems. I don't know. How do you think about that?
Well, I know there's a lot of talk about the meat industry and they want to kind of push the beyond meat and kind of different forms of meat that are not true meat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think meat is the most healthy, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I read the vegetarian myth by Pieter A. Did you read that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, yeah. I found it interesting. It's a little bit extreme, and it's hard to for me, hard to tell what's true or not because I'm not checking all the resources. But it looked like, after reading it, I thought, well, maybe we're beyond the point of no return. Like, meat is going to get less and less. But yeah, well, I'm optimistic about the situation now, and I hope we can improve. And I'm super excited about the regenerative agricultural activities that are mostly employed, what I'm aware of, in the United States and Australia. So I saw something, and then I saw a commercial here in the Netherlands, and on TV there were a couple of farmers, and they were telling us, well, we're caring farmers, doing regenerative, circular agriculture, stuff like that. So I thought, well, that's awesome. Then I went to their website, and it was all reducing animals, and just the opposite of the regenerative agriculture that they should be doing, I guess. So it was interesting, I guess, and I feel a little bit, I feel a growing responsibility to put it on the agenda, to put our perspective on the agenda. But I also, I think, well, who am I to start something like that?
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
see.
well, it's
Maybe,
just one person at a time, and like we all want to support our local farmers and keep the meat industry going well. I think our carnivore community will try to do that, of course, because we love meat.
Yeah. So for now, I'm super happy to help everybody who comes in through MeatRx, and the people in my local community. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter, for sharing your success story with us, because it sounds like you got a lot of healing from the carnivore diet, and you love being a coach. And so everybody can find you at MeatRx on the coaching board.
I guess on Pieter and A, so the last name, that is an A. I hope someone after watching this contacts me, or contacts anybody, I guess, because everyone is awesome. Everybody I see in the interviews that you do, and the colleagues do, are awesome people. And some people come from so far away, like being really heavy, and I was heavier, but never really overweight, and was relative mild issues. But I've seen so many awesome stories, and I think my story will pales in comparison.
But you're pretty young too, so that's good that you found it early in life. Because
so time will tell. And it's so I hope this is the right thing to do.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.